Potassium belongs to one of those few nutrients that you might not pay actual attention to unless you're eating a banana. But potassium serves so many important functions within the body, many of which that you might not even realize are taking place. In fact, potassium is so critical in overall good health that when the nutrition facts label got revised in 2020, the Food and Drug Administration required that the food manufacturers list the amount of potassium present in their foods, replacing other nutrients like vitamin A and C. The reason stated was most Americans aren't consuming enough. According to the USDA, the average American consumes only 56% of the recommended 4,700 milligrams per day. And this is not only true for Americans, but this is true for everyone around the world. You might be well aware, but lack of potassium or low levels of potassium in a condition known as hypokalemia can be a potentially life-threatening condition. Fortunately, there are tons of amazing food resources that you can include in your diet to get your recommended levels of potassium starting today, and that does not include taking a multivitamin supplement this time. Hello and welcome back to the Dr. Academy. I'm Dr. Sanober Doctor, fondly known as Mrs. Doctor by everyone. I'm a board certified dermatologist practicing integrative and holistic dermatology, and I am your skin and health coach. We discuss everything related to skincare, holistic health, and everything needed to lead a healthy and happy life. So make sure you have subscribed to the channel because that is the only way you and I can stay connected always. Today we are going to discuss about potassium because it is one of the minerals or electrolytes that I've seen many people are deficient in without even realizing. So without any further ado, let's begin. Now, before we jump directly to the food resources, let's discuss a little about what exactly do we know about potassium. Because I like going back a little into time, knowing how did it come into being, when did we discover it, how did we realize its importance, and what is it capable of doing within our bodies. Now, potassium has been discovered really recently. It's just 200 years ago, somewhere around 1807. The name potassium is derived from the words pots and ash that refers to the fact that it was first isolated from the ashes of plants. And not surprisingly, plants, especially leafy greens, are one of the most abundant sources of potassium. But the thing that I want you to remember is that unlike other micronutrients that are present within the body, potassium belongs to one of those nutrients that has to be consumed and taken into the body as it cannot be synthesized readily by our body by itself. Some fun facts that you may or may not be aware of: the potassium's chemical symbol is K, and it is completely different from vitamin K that we are aware of. Potassium is a mineral, not a vitamin. That means it's also an electrolyte. Now, there are so many electrolytes that are available in the market today, right? And most of the important nutrients or electrolytes that are present within are sodium and potassium. So potassium is very important for our overall body functioning. Now, since it is an electrolyte, it actually carries a charge and it has the capability of activating the nerves and cells within the body. In fact, we have something known as the sodium-potassium ATPase pump. Now, this is not like the regular pump that sprays water or that carries water or the different kinds of pumps that we are all used to. But this is a pump that is present on every cell of our body. And this pump is responsible for the transfer of sodium and potassium within and outside the cell so that it can maintain the entire osmotic environment and maintain the cell health, the cell's functionality, and everything that is required for the normal functioning of the entire body. Potassium is very important to counterbalance the effects of sodium within the bloodstream, and this can help reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke. In fact, there was a study that showed that a diet high in potassium and low in sodium could actually reduce the risk of dying out of a heart attack. But the benefits of potassium don't only stop with heart health. Getting enough potassium in our daily diets can reduce the risk of kidney stones, improve bone mineral density, stabilize blood sugar levels. Besides these, as I have told you already, as it is part of the sodium potassium pump that produces energy, it is very important in the overall energy production. It is responsible for providing endurance during exercise. It prevents muscle cramping, prevents arrhythmias, prevents twitching of the muscles, tremors, constipation, insomnia, insulin resistance, high blood pressure, kidneys, edema, you name it, and potassium is required for the overall health of the body. Now, the recommended level of potassium is a pretty wide range. It has been recommended that anywhere between 2,600 to 4,700 milligrams per day is ideal. Pregnant and breastfeeding women require amounts on a higher end, and men require more than women. But I don't like fussing over the numbers. What is important is that you have a diet that is rich in good sources of potassium, and try to tune into your body and listen to how it feels and what is your body signaling or telling you. You will know whether you need to increase or decrease the amount of your potassium-rich sources automatically. I'm sure you're convinced by now that potassium is very important for overall health. So here are 10 potassium-rich foods that are worth stocking up at your home. Number 1 is potatoes. Now I know potatoes have a very bad reputation because the high carb danger food that everyone believes it to be. But potatoes had with their skin, especially a medium potato, can provide 941 milligrams of potassium. That is 27% of the 3,500 milligrams of adequate intake that you actually require. Number 2 is dates. Not only are dates very rich sources of fiber, vitamin B6 and copper, but they are an excellent source of potassium as well. In fact, 2 little of these chewy little beauties contain 334 milligrams of potassium. That is 10% of the 3,500 milligrams that we require. Now, there are different varieties of dates that are available. I'm particularly very fond of the Majuba dates, and I think those are the ones that are the richest sources. But any dates that you consume are fine, and that your smoothies, energy bites, baked goods, you'll be doing your heart, kidneys, and bones a major favor. Number 3 are bananas. You know I was going to go there, right? But for reasons unknown, bananas have become synonymous with potassium and its health benefits. If you've ever had a muscle twitch, I can guarantee that someone must have asked you to have a banana, right? Well, surprise, surprise, bananas aren't the most abundant food source for potassium, but they do certainly have a very rich quantity present within them. One medium Cavendish banana, that is basically the yellow variety that you see most commonly at the grocery store, contains 422 milligrams of potassium, and that is 12% of your daily required intake. On number 4, we have salmon. Now I know salmon is considered as a superfood, and everyone knows it is a very rich source of omega-3 and proteins, but did you know it is also a very good source of potassium? In fact, a 3-ounce serving of Atlantic farm-raised salmon contains 9% of your daily target, whereas wild salmon provides even more, around 15% of your daily requirement of potassium. Number 5 are dried apricots. These Mediterranean fruits are one of the highest potassium foods on the planet, with 27% of the 3,500 milligram goal in half a cup. So don't forget to add apricots to your diet on a regular basis. On number 6, we have watermelon. So every time you'll be crunching into a beautiful watermelon slice on a summer's day, you will remember that you're not only refreshing and hydrating yourself, but you're also unknowingly slurping down surprisingly beautiful amounts of potassium. 2 wedges, that is 1/8 of a melon, contains 640 milligrams of potassium. Now who's only going to stop at 2 wedges? On number 7, we have beans. Rich sources of nutrients sometimes comes in small packages, and I don't want you to underestimate the powerhouse that beans actually are. Despite their small size, beans and legumes are loaded with potassium, not to mention their fiber, protein, and other nutrient content. Cooked beans win the potassium prize with 1000 milligrams per cup. Number 8 is cooked spinach. Now I know there is an entire fad of having raw greens, juices and smoothies, but when you cook your leafy greens, you're increasing the nutrient profile, so I don't want you to forget that. And you are also increasing the amount of potassium that you are deriving from them. 1 cup of cooked greens has an astounding amount of 1180 milligrams of potassium. So don't forget to include good amounts of leafy greens within your diet as well. On number 9, we have fruit and vegetable juices, especially coconut water. Now we generally are aware that to reap the entire benefit from fruits and vegetables, we should consume them as a whole. But when it comes to potassium, more of it becomes available when we are juicing it. For example, 1 cup of orange juice contains 500 milligrams of potassium. So it is a good thing to have that fruit juice once in a while. And number 10 is plain regular yogurt. Now you might tend to go for Greek yogurt because of its high protein content, but I want you to remember that when we are considering potassium or even yogurt as a source of calcium, it is regular yogurt that is one of the better sources. So depending on the brand or whether you're making yogurt at home, 1 cup of unflavored regular yogurt contains 600 milligrams of potassium. So now you have another reason to add yogurt into your diet. Alright, I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget that these are just one of those few rich sources of potassium that I mentioned. There are so many everyday foods that we are consuming that we might not be even aware of. My goal in educating you regarding these food resources is so that you can become well aware and make a conscious effort to include more of these in your diet whenever it is required. So if you know someone who develops muscle cramping very easily, has muscle twitches, has a heart problem, it is good to discuss it with your doctor and try to find out what are the other non-medical ways apart from conventional medications to take care of these conditions in the long run. If you have any other questions or you want to know something more about, you can leave it in the comments below. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up as well. As always, continue to glow, shine and thrive always. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed. Take care. See you soon. When it comes to potassium, more of it gets available when we are but potassium's chemical symbol is K.